Online, just waiting on YouTube. Online. Looks like they're all going, so we are good to go. Now I have to fix my chat window. What I like fixing this. What's that? I was actually wearing a. Oh, I was actually wearing a Star Trek shirt. It was I can't remember what ship it is. It's a Klingon ship. I was like, I can't wear that when I'm playing Blood, Sweat, and Steel, so I put my Thulsa Doom shirt on. Okay, now I just gotta fix my chat windows. Oh, look at that. It's working. I didn't have to do anything. Although it's squished, so I gotta make it longer. There we go. And then I'll just center that bad boy. Center to screen. There we go. And then this is the map only. I'm just making sure all my scenes look good. Oh, that's cool. Every time I switch scenes, it reloads the map for me in Map Tools automatically. That's cool. So, oh shit! We gotta let Kevin know that. Well, hopefully he'll see the thread, but I'll send him a PM real quick. Well, he'll probably be on in about 5-10 minutes. So I wanna. We're using Meet again for chat. And then I'll grab the link just to make it faster for him for the game. There we go. Roll 20. There. Okay, I gave him everything there. Oh, that didn't do that right. It didn't copy the thing. That's weird. Copy. There we go. Okay, so he's got the links. We're good there. Now I got to go back to my. Oh, I don't. This doesn't even matter. We're not even using Discord, so I'm going to minimize that. And we got the stream going. Right? My life. It's always going on my phone too. I was having some issues with some of the channels I follow on Discord, not mine, but like other ones I like to use. And I was having all kinds of issues trying to get the notifications to be more selective. So I got frustrated, just like turned all my notifications off, and so I never get anything when on my own channels. Well, I did the mute channel or mute server until I turn it back on option. Oh, right. Well, that's for another day. I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm going to keep this down here. So it looks like we're streaming good. I'm just going to check my. Whoa! What happened up there? There we go. And then my main windows up here are going to be my player, my music player, and my Explorer window. Although now that needs to be resized. So. Oh, because I brought it down here. There we go. So I can see that. Although it's not showing my camera. Why isn't it showing me when I do that? Huh. So my camera only is active on Meet if I have the window on top. I'm starting to get that impression. Yep. Damn it. Well, that sucks. So I got to find a place for this to be on my screen. Yep. Do what? It's not really difficult. It's just limitations. It's like it's a limit. There's nothing I can do about the way Meet decides to have its Windows operate, but it shuts your camera off if your Meet window isn't on top of your desktop. And I've got like 8 windows open when I game, so for different apps and different things that I'm using. So it makes it a little bit tricky to give it a dedicated spot. But I guess I'm gonna have to. I could, but then the quality on the stream gets really shitty really quick. And I'm trying to make it look halfway decent. Right. Why can't I access that now? There we go. Now I got to stretch it out in the window here because it just looks awful. This is where it was. That way I can keep it open the whole time. That doesn't look too bad on the. Nope. Oh, I don't hear it. So Kevin should be here any second. I'm gonna go top off my tea, so I'm ready to go when he gets here. I'll be right back. Whoa. Trying to make this look a little better. I know I'm stuck. This is as good as it gets, folks. I don't. I only cared when I was young and single, so I'm old and married now, so I don't care. And I got everything running. We're streaming, and I'm moving around. I'm just testing some stuff while we're waiting for Kev, and it works perfectly right now. I'm not getting any lag in map tools. I didn't check my performance, but let's see what a whopping 13% on moving your screen. I shouldn't be. I know. I started playing around with it. Basically, what it came down to is I was like, okay, it's either gonna be Map Tools or Foundry. I got to learn Foundry. I already know Map Tools. Let's see how much I remember. So I jumped on, and it was like an old friend. It took me about 10 minutes to kind of reacquaint myself with the GUI, but once I got remember where everything was, it was like, oh yeah, this is a pretty cool app. um, and so I'm like, okay, so I know if I have to, in a pinch, I'm good here. I can remember enough to run it. So let's play around with Foundry a little bit. So I dug into Foundry. I started watching YouTube videos. I was doing tutorials. There he is. There's Kev. And after about, hey, Kev, Discord sucked really bad. So I was persuaded to go back to Google Meet. Apparently, I sound better on it. So I noticed a lot more lag with Discord, but everything else is running super good right now. So I'm very very excited about that. And I'm just who are we missing in Cragna, Nate? I think we're all are we all in the why does it feel like I'm missing somebody? No, Kevin's in roll 20, isn't he? Oh, there we go. What's going on with my player view here though? Let me check something real quick. Does it need to be refreshed? Oh, I see what it does. It there's enough player things. He's down here. That's what. Okay, I couldn't make sense of how all the names were laid out in roll 20. Okay, so that's working just beautifully. So let me get the player camera on the right view here. I love this interact button. It's so cool. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. That is so awesome. I gotta lower my ambience a little bit. So the ambience is playing to the stream. If you guys don't want to have it, I didn't. It's no big deal. I don't care. I know some people find it annoying, and it doesn't matter to me on your side. Some people I use it because I actually have used it to like to give clues to certain areas and things like that. But if people don't really, some people don't like having the distractions, so I'm totally cool with that. But I, hmm? No, I'm doing Sirenscape, which as long as I put that on the video that hey, and I mentioned hey, we're using Sirenscape because I love it, and I have a paid account for Sirenscape. You can use any of it streaming, and it doesn't it's royalty free. So any battle music that I use from Sirenscape or any backgrounds or settings, scenes, I can use, and I won't get dinged on anything, any copyright. Trying to get me in trouble. I don't think we get in trouble for a player like drinking what they like to drink. So so where we left off last was you guys you basically stormed the church, uh, cleared it out, realized that the guy you're after took off. Let me get my actual map tools up. Or he's a chicken. Um, and you did not find Jalix either here. Greylac, that was his name. Uh, so you Hopefully. That's your mission is to recover him, right? Bring him back alive. um, I you do what you need to do, and I'll react accordingly with the people of his village, and we'll just see how it plays out. So basically, to kind of, like I said, this is not a it wasn't designed to be a big whole underground dungeon thing, but there's just a few decision points. So if you guys want to move tokens up to till you get to a point where you got to go, and then kind of decide. The biggest thing is, like I said, this is definitely a natural cavern. In some spaces, you almost have to turn sideways to get through some of the narrow spots. There's not a lot of it's very rocky, but also very kind of dirt ground, so it's easy to see footprints and things like that. If you're looking to track somebody through these caves, it should be doable. uh, Probably about 6 to 12 inches above your heads in this part of the cavern cave. It's pretty, and it's almost kind of a teepee sort of triangular sort of cavern. The hawk will need to fly low if he's going to fly through here. Right now, can everybody move? That's the other thing I forgot to check. Everybody should have ownership of of themselves and their animal companion if you have one. Yeah, but I could see a little bit. Yeah, the detail is crazy. Like, oh really? Oh, okay. I have Witcher 2. I don't have the last one. Isn't there Witcher 3? Is there a third one? I haven't played that one yet, even though I've seen the series. Upgraded? Yes, yeah. Huh. So yeah, so it looks like Vadran and the Hawk, you've come up to a T here. There's a passage going to the west and one going to the east. This area, this time of year, it's gonna be fairly humid. It's end of summer, so right. This is so fun for me right now because I am able to simultaneously work my map, move my map, and move the player map that people can see while we're streaming at the same time. This has got me pretty happy. I just want to mention that. Go ahead and make an investigate. You can either use investigation, or if you've got wild survival, you want to actually do like an outdoor tracking. That'd probably be preferable. I think we have a couple of capable trackers in this group, don't we? Nice. It's a good sign. The first roll definitely a good roll. My first roll last session was an abysmal, so that was a good sign for you guys, but not for me. If anybody gets a minute and yeah, if anyone gets a minute and you're bored, if somebody wouldn't mind trying to just grab that Sirenscape player just to confirm that linking and all the shit works and you can actually like hear it, and because I have no idea what the levels are like or anything. So there's a link in Discord in our campaign thing it gave me. If you scroll up a little, I can repost it, but it should be you. Oh, you need an account. Do you need an account, or you just need to create a user? Or uh, well, don't do it if you don't feel like signing up for Sirenscape. But if somebody doesn't care about having a free, it's a free account for you guys. But I have the paid account, so I can access all of the basically everything they have. Which is what's really cool is you don't have to with the online player. You don't have to download anything. You can search all their packs. It pull like everything up. Like if I'm looking for a forest encounter, anything with forest in it, and then I can pick the ones I like, and it's pretty cool that way. I like it. But yeah, don't I don't want it to be a pain in the butt for anyone, and it's not requirement. I just I think Foundry it has its own ambience and music area, and they have ways to integrate third party apps. So I'm pretty sure I could just hook it up through there in the future and run it, and then everybody can just choose to mute it or have it on or whatever. I just wanted to see if the thing even worked, but I don't want anybody getting frustrated over it. Cool. Well, you might actually hear some of the clues then, because I have a couple of specific areas where I was going to change things up a little bit. So at the moment, you guys, like I said, you're arriving to a T. It is going at a slight upward trajectory incline. I'd say maybe a 3 or 4% um, incline as you're moving into the hills here through this cave system. So you've moved about 75 feet or so into the cave where it tees. Hard to say. So it looks pretty narrow in both directions. So you guys just let me know how you want to navigate, what you want to check for. It looks like who got the superb? That was Vadron. Um, it's not easy to see tracks as there's stuff going in multiple directions, but definitely looks like the most recent tracks are leading to the right, to your right. Yeah, you guys were trying to catch up to him because he doesn't have a huge lead on you, so you weren't. It didn't take you guys very long to take out the cultists and search the church. So why is what? Oh, I've done that before. Squish. Oh, really? There we go. This is so cool being able to update the player map while you guys are moving. Oh, so here's the thing. I was gonna do that for the purposes of this, but the way that roll 20's vision thing kind of sucks, but doing it in Foundry would be really, really cool. And I'm not meaning from the player and I'm meaning from the live streaming, and I would have to figure out how to give the player access to that view without spoiling it on the screen, but I guess it doesn't really I could do it actually. If you want to see what it looks like. I just gotta find him. There he is. Dynamic lighting, night vision. I'll give it a little bit of a tint for you so you can see what's beyond the actual lighting. Okay, so it might be because I've got it so damn low. So since you've got it running, let me kick it up and tell me if you hear it. Oops, I put it back just to 100. I'll let that run for a moment while you guys are finding another T there where it looks like it continues north or goes off to the east. Rarik, I'll keep you up with everybody, so don't worry about that. I know you're busy. Give me a check. I mean, basically with each of the points, we'll do a quick check and see where we're at. Nice. So Vadran seems to lose the tracks momentarily, but Rarek is able to circle around behind him, and I think he went this way, and it looks like they were continuing to go to the north. Okay, hang on one second. Do you hear anything yet, Kev? Okay, because I got it at 100% right now, so we may have to play with that on an. I'm gonna drop it down to 40 here. There we go. Yeah, don't move yet. Yeah, so yeah, you come to another sort of folk, but there is a dead end you can see to the west. I forgot to put, but there is actually you see a body lying in the corner. I forgot to drop one on there. I forgot to put one. Yeah. Definitely not the Jarl. It's not big enough to be the Jarl. Here we go. It appears to be a fairly fresh kill. This body's probably only been dead for maybe like a fresh kill. Like the body's still warm. Put it that way. He looks like he was the way he's dressed. He's dressed kind of like a farmer. He looks like the only thing he has is he's got a sickle with him and a bag. He's a small bag of with a poor value of silver coins. Nothing else really of import. He is not. That's a good question. Which one am I? Oh, the Miga. This is so fun. This is so much more fun for me when everything's working. As you guys around the corner, yeah, big old creature drops to the floor. Uh, Close. It looks like that. I'm trying to see if it shows up on my. Did it show up? It said show to players. Why didn't it show up? Oh, show to everyone. There we go. I forgot to click the show to everyone. There we go. So size wise, they're his head's about 2 feet wide, and the body's probably about 20 feet long. I didn't have a I didn't I wanted to do a top down, but I couldn't find a really cool one. But yeah, it basically dropped to the floor as you guys are rounding the corner right in front of you. It's about the size of I would say the headwise and all. It's like I said, about 2 feet wide. It takes up most of the uh, hallway that it's in the pathway that it's in. I'm gonna go ahead and close that out so I can see what I'm doing. So, what would you guys like to do? Come again? All right, so Kragnar is rushing up to attack. What was Vadrin was asking Rarik about anything special about these guys? All right, so think of this thing as just basically a giant bug. There's nothing like special, or I mean, they think they have a very tough exoskeleton. Um, oh, probably reasonably afraid of fire for sure. Yeah, I would say definitely an aversion to fire. Light, not so much because they're in and out, but they definitely would probably shy away from extreme heat for sure. Well, now it's a party. Wait, so Rarik, so you see Kragnar just basically doing what Kragnar does, charges. Rah! Are you? What's Rarik doing? All right, perfect. And Jaren. So you want to create a fire effect? You can make your own list if that makes it a little bit easier. Or if we're all pretty experienced. Well, so I was just going to mention, Jaron. Everybody in the group is a pretty seasoned D&D player. So you can just name like D&D spells if you're more comfortable to explain what it is, and I'll figure out all the details. You don't have to worry about that. So like if you, that's going to take a minute. All right, so Jaren, Jaren is going to create an effect. Is that what? Am I getting that right? I forgot to open my PDF, so let me make sure I got my table in front of me, and I forgot to open. That's what I was supposed to have open over here, and I just probably lost my video because I put a window on top of my Explorer. There we go. And then I need to open up my GM screen real quick, so just bear with me for 1 second. I forgot to. I killed my PDFs for a minute, and then I forgot to open them back up. GM screen, there it is. Perfect. All right. I'm just waiting for it to catch up. There it goes. So basically, a flaming hands type of effect. You want to just blast it with some fire. Uh, I was just thinking. All right, so Vadrin was making a preparation this exchange. So we got to get two attacks on the. We got two people attacking the millipede. That's going to put it at a -1 for this exchange. So go ahead and make your just normal attacks. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be at a -1 because you outnumber it. Go aggressive. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Go ahead and make your rolls, and then I'll roll for the critter. Well, what was my first roll again? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? My first roll last week was a -4, abysmal. My first roll this week was abysmal. Roll20 hates me. It knows I'm leaving it soon. Or maybe. It's like, take this with you. Is that foundry glitter I see? What is going on here? All right. That sucks. All right, so looks like we got Ragnar won by 4 when aggressive, so up by 6, -2 for the armor for its exoskeleton is going to give you a serious wound. So that's going to be at a -1, and Rarak had 3, also a serious wound, so it's going to have 2 serious wounds. Let me see. I don't need to worry about stun checks. Nice job, guys. So 2 serious wounds. You can describe that how you like, but basically you're going to have a huge advantage on the next exchange. Put a nice little puncture wound into it. It gets like 3 of them, just enough to make it a little wobbly. All right, so we're to the next exchange, and let's start with Vadron since he had something he was planning on doing. Let's hear what. Okay. Nice. All right. It's. I would say you're gonna have to do that between the big guys in front of you because they're taking up most of the space there. So there'll be a slight chance of some singeing, but I think this is going to be an interesting attack. Jaren, can you give me an awareness check, please? Okay. And Vadron, can you also give me an awareness check with the hawk +2? Nice. So since it was such a good result, so Jared, as you're getting, you can see what's about to unfold, and you're watching everything going on. You're kind of fixated on watching this millipede about to get set on fire, when all of a sudden the hawk screeches this piercing, blood curdling uh, shriek, and causes you to turn around just in time to see that there is another creature coming up behind you guys from the other side. Let me see if I have that correctly. Oh, I forgot to close that. I've been looking at the millipede this whole time. Where's right? Okay, so you guys can see that one in the back there. I wanted to make sure the player side could see that. All right, so let's go ahead and resolve. We'll do the technically it's a ranged attack, so the millipede will still be at the -1, but it also has 2 wounds, so it'll be at a -3 for this exchange. Let's have the barbarians attack, both going aggressive. All right. Oh god, he's gonna be at a -1 this time. This sucks. Ragnar gets a mediocre. Ooh, nice. Actually rolled decent that time, but ended up with a one. So here, just as a quick reminder on outnumbering rules, if a creature is outnumbered, it has to tie or beat everyone it's fighting to get an attack. So even though it beat Kragnar, it didn't beat Rarik, so it doesn't get to attack Kragnar either. Does that make sense? So that let's see. Since it got a one, that's three minus two, so it's a minor wound as it says. It reels back, so it's going to be at a minus four on the next exchange. When you hear the hawk skreek, and Jaren, I'm sure if you want to shout a warning as you see this other one coming up from behind you guys. Okay, and then let's go. Let's do how do you want to? We probably should use arranged, I guess. Check for the fire. Okay, perfect. So it definitely, the fire definitely like hits the millipede as it's reeling back, while Rarex trying to take out more legs from it. It kind of sidesteps and kind of drops kind of awkwardly. It does get back. You do a little bit of damage to it, but it's not on fire. Uh, minus, but it's going to be now at a minus five for the next exchange. And you've got one coming up behind you. So this is a new exchange. Let's start with Jaren, since you have one coming up behind you. What would you like to do this exchange? Which where are you running to? Oh, closer to those guys? Okay, perfect. So you're basically just getting a little closer. That's going to give you an extra exchange. It's not coming super fast. So if you're moving back that way, it's going to basically be just around the corner, right about here-ish, at the end of this exchange. So this one is still alive, but very wounded and singed. So Rarik, what would you like to do this exchange? All right, and Gragnar. So you're both staying on the same one, and Vadrin. Nice. Come on. I can just see him. Come on. All right, so let's go ahead and get this going for this. And Jaren, you're basically trying to stay out of the way of the other millipede, correct? Jaren? Not Aethmer? Yo, yo, yo. Oh, shoot, I covered up my window again. I bet you that covered up the. There we go. All right, so okay, so we got the two guys attacking the millipedes at a minus five. Go ahead and make your attacks. You're both going aggressive. Millipede. So I'm at a minus five plus minus two. Jesus. Oh, still rolling good. This thing is tough. So you're able to fight it back. It tied Rarik, but it lost to Kragnar. So Kragnar, you got what would have been normally a pretty solid hit, but you notice how hard the exoskeleton is, because it actually kind of glints off. Chips of some of its exoskeleton fly off, but the blade doesn't actually bite into flesh on this particular exchange, because the 2 points basically absorbed by the armor. So that was it was a glancing shot. Hi guys, how's it going? Actually, I forgot you guys were both going aggressive, so that means you would have beat it by four, which actually you would have gave it another minor wound. So you did bite into it a little bit. It's going to be at a -5 for the next exchange. You've got the other one closing in on you, Vadran. It's going to be basically it's going to be to you on this exchange. I'm sorry, this is a new exchange. See if you can get calm down, bug. Okay, oh yeah, so go ahead and make a check for that one here, and then we'll see how it reacts to it. The thing was, is that particular round it just rolled really good, so let's see how it does this time. Well, it might work. It might work. So it doesn't scare it away, but it scares it back. It causes it to retreat a little bit, and it starts clicking and making these weird noises, and then the other one starts clicking and making weird. It almost like they're kind of communicating, but it seems like it you definitely caused it to back up. It's not leaving the area; you can still see it, but it's keeping its distance. So this one's still angry because it's been attacked and it's been pretty injured. That's the reason it's still trying to put up a fight. So to this exchange, it's still alive. Are you guys trying to take it out? It's actually going to try to take off this time, but with its being so injured, I don't think it's going to be able to get away. Yeah, they're fairly nimble. They can climb walls and stuff, but they're not super fast or they don't have very good twitch muscles. So there you go. What is that? I didn't mean to make that roll. I didn't mean to roll that. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. He's supposed to be at a -2. Oh, -3 because it's his agility. So I'm at a -4. So, oh my God. So that's 6 points for Rarik and five for, oops. So yeah, it's two critical wounds. We're going to assume it's going to fail its check, but I'll make it just to make it all official and everything. It needs a good or better, and I got to roll it. It already failed. It is dying. Actually, it failed its check. So yeah, it's technically dying. You guys can describe your double team attack on this thing, however you like. Nice. You're gonna make a helm out of it. Perfect. All right, it is gone. Um, as that happens, it lets out this blood curdling scream, hissy scream, bug scream, and then Vadran, you see this one starts slinking back away. It knows. Don't try to follow me. All right, so basically, you guys, once you get past this millipede, uh, you notice the cave entrance opens up into a small, it's the backside of the hill, probably about 30 to 40 feet in elevation, and you can see kind of a footpath leading its way down to a row of trees at the bottom of the hill. As you guys run to the or move briskly to the edge of the trees, when you get to the path inside, it goes about 20 to 30 feet inside of the forest, and it hits another trail. Kind of hard to spot, but there's a definite trail that's leading through the woods. So as you take this path to the trees, you're going to hit a T to go either left or right. No, I know I don't have a map for that. So this is a descriptive part of the adventure. Yeah, so the trail you took from the base of the cave down the hill to the forest. It went about 20 feet in, and then it basically met another for another path. Yeah, you can either go left or right basically when you hit the path. Okay. Now, because of the nature of everything here, it won't matter because you just rolled superb. So screw my hazy description. It looks like they went left. Nice roll, man. Oh, well, I would say they're probably out of range for that because the caves that you were in was probably a couple hundred feet that you traversed from one side of the hill to the other. So he probably isn't. They're probably out of range for that. I'm gonna need a beast mastery check on that. I didn't know all your animals could talk to each other. We're gonna have a whole spin-off adventure where you guys actually play your animal companions trying to communicate with each other. One's barking, one's growling, and one's chirping like a bird. Good luck with the bear. So yeah, I mean, so they were. Here's the thing that makes it even trickier. So you guys left them in the basement. How good is the hawk at opening doors? Well, you guys, if you guys remember, you guys went through a secret passage to get to that room for the basement. Oh, I've got it right on the map. I got a little yellow brick there to remind me and everything. Well, if you want to send your hawk out and have the chance of it possibly finding them and somehow figuring out a way to communicate to them to wind their way back through the church and follow the hawk, then we could do that. Right? What was that, kid? Uh oh. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, you rolled fair, but you had a -3 for the skill. That's true. I've seen the chart. Okay, so we could if you want to send them off, and we can kind of figure out how to resolve that. But what do you guys want to do while you're in the woods? Yeah, and Rarik got a superb on his tracking, so he figured out that it looks like they were headed to the left when where uh it was up. It was the 3 right before Vadran's Beast Mastery check, Wild Survival check. Better keep up, guys. Okay, give me 1 minute here. I for Yeah. Yeah. All right, so as you get so you're taking the path to the left. As you're heading down, it starts to open up a little bit as you're coming out of the woods. The actual it was basically a spotted occasional wheel wagon tracks that you would see, maybe a left track and then a right track, very spotty. Once you get out of the forest and it starts to open up, it's more of a proper road as you go out, and you follow it for probably about a half mile. And in the distance ahead of you, you see 4 figures. They haven't spotted you yet, but you see 4 figures standing on the road. From this distance, it's hard to make out any real details, but it looks like they may be wearing the same type of robes that the cultists in the church were wearing. Right now, there's a good 60, 70 feet between you. Just keep going. Well, I lied. They're actually about 100 feet away, but so it's going to take you a minute. Take you a couple seconds to get up there. For most of the yeah, yeah. Wait, wagon. Wait, I'm confused. No, no, no. I said like in the woods, the road was basically an occasional view of where a wagon wheel track would be, like maybe a left one, maybe a right one, like real spotty. But then, yeah, I'm sorry, I meant like the tracks, like the actual road. Right, exactly. So let me move you to the map here. Give me just 1 sec, because you guys do have a little bit of distance from them. They haven't spotted you yet since it is nighttime. Uh, do, 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 do. That here's another thing I really like about Foundry VT. I love the way their lighting works way better. It's way more interactive. It's easier to control, and it looks more like actual lighting. So you don't see like the line between bright and dim. It's way more easy to configure, and you could do terrain lighting, which is awesome. Like, so you can have a terrain obscuring something, but you can still see beyond it. Like, let's say you're building a tavern and you put a window, so like you can't pass through, like the person's token can't go through the window, like enter, but they can see into it. It's multi-layered light blocking kind of. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, but So I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys over to this map. And I got to zoom way back on the, I got to zoom way back on the player map because you guys are literally at opposite ends of the map. There we go. Can barely even see you guys on my view. Okay, so the two, so I didn't put anybody in any particular order. Um, so it was Rarak and Kragnar were in the front, and basically, you guys are just charging. So it's gonna take you like that exchange to get to them. So they're gonna see you coming as you're charging them, but they're probably not going to be able to do a whole lot about it because by the time they react, you should be able to get up on them. It's just going to be a -1 uh, modifier. You think of it as you're basically traveling from one zone to another. If we split the map up into two zones for space wise. Yeah, so you're basically taking a -1, doing a charge from one zone to another zone. So go ahead and you can move your characters up. What is Vadran and Jaren doing? All right. Okay. So we got two ranged attacks. Let's go ahead and resolve those as Rarak and Kragnar are charging the four guys blocking the road. And it looks like that's what they were literally doing. They were just there guarding the road, like they weren't supposed to let anybody get past them, which I think is going to fail. But let's see what happens. Okay, so the difficulty, since they're not moving, we're going to keep it just at fair for the ranged weapons. So we'll take a serious wound on this guy here. For archery, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna. There we go. Oh, and the other guy. Let's see the other one. Just Vadran's just missed. Okay, so we got this guy here was injured, so I got to check to see if he's stunned because that was actually a serious wound. Has to get fair. Oh, not stunned. All right, but he is going to be. So the guy in front of Kragnar takes an arrow just as Kragnar and Rarik show up to attack. Go ahead and make your attacks, and I will attack as the cultists for you. The first one is going to be Kragnar since he's at a -1. Oops. I was put a -13. I hit fat fingered it. Wow, you killed him 3 times in one shot. That's awesome. Right? Right? All right, cool. So let's see. Kragnar got, not a great roll. Did you do, was that, is that also the -1 for the charge? So it'd be -3? If you want, if you, so it's a -4. So if you want, so you rolled terrible, like literally a -3 roll. If you want to spend a fortune point, you can re-roll that because even adding a couple to it's not going to do much. That's a little better, but it's going to still be -2 from that, right? -1. Okay, and against your guy. Oh, the cultist catches you off guard as he's a little bit nimbler than you thought, sidesteps for just a moment, and he tries to retaliate and hit you with his little quarterstaff he's got, but it's kind of just more of a glancing shot. But it does cause you to have to shift your body really awkwardly and kind of roll your ankle for a second. So you're going to be at a -1 just for the next exchange from this little guy catching you off guard. All right, Ragnar. Yeah, stick problem. Go ahead, make your attack, Ragnar. And he's just at normal. Rarik, I'm sorry. What did I say, Ragnar? Kragnar. There we go. Oh, God. And you went aggressive? So did yours factor in the charge and the aggressive? By 3. Okay, so that's still a serious wound. But if you beat him, you get the +2 for the aggressive. Okay. Oh, right. So 3 points altogether. Gotcha. That's another serious wound for him. Let me make his gut check. Failed. He is stunned. For the next exchange, I don't remember what I was using for that, but we'll just do this one. All right, so we should to the next exchange add Vadrin. What would you like to do this round? Awesome. So if you want to be part of this, joining Kragnar, just take the -1 for the charge, and this guy will be at an additional -1 for this exchange. And Jaren, how to you? Try to get a better angle, get a little bit closer. If you want to shoot, if right, so if you're closing in basically to their same zone, that'll lower the difficulty of your shot to mediocre to hit them. So let's see. In Rarik, you're attacking the same guy, Kragnar. All right, let's go ahead and resolve Kragnar and Vadrin since Vadrin just rolled, and I will roll for him, and he's at a minus shit -2. He's already at a -1, so he's at a -3. Oh, that was awesome. And you got. So that's a critical wound from Kragnar. Let me make it his gut check, and then let's see. Ed, what did Vadrin get? So minus. So you beat him by 3, beat him by 5, then right? 2 criticals. Oh man, he's not going to survive that. All right, let me make his gut checks real quick. He's got to beat good, and he failed. So he is dying. You guys can describe that attack how you would like. So basically, Vadrin had come in to charge up with Kragnar. Kragnar, and you both delivered like critical wounds. So describe away. Let us know how it turned out. Right. All right, Robert. Jared, go ahead and take your shot at the cultist there. The difficulty is mediocre. Yeah. Your arrow passes right between you and Rarik as Rarik as Rarik takes his attack on his cultist to try to finish him off. And that guy's at -1, so that puts him at a -2. Ooh, we got a feisty. We got a feisty. Just by 1, right? Oh, right, right, right. This guy, yep, I'll mark him. Oh. And this guy actually got a minor wound on Rarek. Whew. Basically, kind of the same thing. He so awkwardly comes at you with almost no fighting skill that it confuses you for a second, and your footwork gets a little bit off, and you kind of messed up your shuffle, and it kind of threw you off balance for a little bit. So you kind of like your feet slipped in the gravel a little bit, and it's going to take you a second to kind of get your footing. You've never seen anybody fight that weirdly before. Yeah, what the hell was that? All right, we are to the next exchange. Uh, yeah. So we got a new exchange. Jaren, are you? What are you doing this exchange? Okay. Another glancing blow. You practice makes perfect. You're keeping him busy though. You're definitely giving him something to worry about. All right, Kragnar, you got the one. You got three left that are still kicking. There. Okay. All right, back there. And Vadran. Which one? Okay. Um. So you guys can immediately tell that these guys don't really know how to fight, and they didn't really want to be here. So they're doing a lot of this, like, ugh, they're fighting very nervously, and they're basically doing something they were told to do against their will. You definitely can see there's not a lot of will to fight you guys, and they're going. So there's just confusion. They're just kind of standing around. There's no real tactics here. Uh, awesome. All right. Let me go ahead. Since Kragnar rolled, I'm gonna go ahead and see. Oh, just gonna fist him out, huh? Second edition, of course. Wait, I didn't even roll the. Oh, you already made your attack, Kragnar, for your attack, right? You had the +2. You can use that for your brawling. It doesn't really matter. What's your brawl? They're the same, right? They're both +1. Yeah. Okay. So let me roll for him, and he was already at a minus. Oh no, he wasn't. This guy wasn't. He sucks. This one's fresh, but they're mediocre. So +2. So it's enough to do a serious wound. Not enough to knock him out, but you might have stunned him. So let me make his gut check here. Yep, you stunned him. So he basically just drops to the ground, covering his face, and he starts bawling. This guy here. I don't know if I have a. I do have a. Oh, well, he's got arrows in his back though. That's not quite the same thing. Let's try to find another. I don't really like the symbols they have available. They're not immediate. They don't really match up. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, so he basically, yeah, you just popped him in the face, and he just immediately went down, and he's just holding his face, writhing in pain. Vadran, you said you were double teaming with Rarek on this guy here. So go ahead and make your guys' attacks, and I will roll for him. He is outnumbered, and he's also hurt. So he's going to be at a -2. -1 is -3. Ooh, nice roll. Rarek. Yeah. Oh, that was Vadran got a good roll too. Well, I mean, it's. Oh, I thought. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. That was a positive one. I didn't see the negative. It's good enough. And you went aggressive too, right? So that's it's 3 points of serious wound for you, and 7 points. That's a takeout for Rarek. You guys can describe that how you like. Here's a little present for you. Okay, so yeah, the one guy that's left, he basically takes off running into the woods, uh, kind of in that direction, away from everybody. Yeah, he's like, I guess I'm done. What am I doing here? I got a family to feed. So, but you do have one guy left that Kragnar just dropped with a punch to the face. That's laying on the ground. So yeah, if you want to, if close enough right now. Actually, the difficulty would be poor. So he is running away, but he's kind of running away in a straight line. He 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 didn't learn anything from Game of Thrones. He didn't learn how to zigzag. So if you want to take a shot at him, versus poor difficulty, Vadran, you could take a shot at him. Ooh, serious wound. That's gonna be enough to drop him. At least get him. Ugh, he's not bleeding out or dying, but yeah. So oh, I actually have this. Even though you only hit him with one arrow, this is the only thing I could find. This guy's got like 3 arrows in his back. Okay, so the threat has been neutralized. You've got one cultist crumpled on the ground at Kragnar's feet, and you got one laying under the tree with a sword or with an arrow in the back of his leg. Okay, Greylock, of course. Greylock said, "Guard the road." That anybody that came this way, we were supposed to try to stop them. I was just doing what I was told. Um, they're at the farmhouse at the end of this road. I definitely want to live. What? Watch me vanish. At the farmhouse, he wouldn't know specifically, but he can estimate that Greylock always has at least two of his followers with him at any given time. So there's probably 2 to 4 at the most. It was a small group. He wouldn't know exactly, but he never travels alone. So he always travels with at least a couple. Yes. I don't know how disgusting he is, but this has gone so smoothly. I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody for the patience last time, because tonight's session has been going so much smoother for me. The way everything's laid out and running and working, and just thanks. So I'm having a lot of fun right now. Just wanted to point that out. Oh no! Right? So, is there anything else you guys wanted to ask him? Because he really looks like he's eager to follow Kragnar's commands. Less than a mile. Don't waste the arrow. I'm not going to get in the way of that, and it's pretty much a coup de grace at this point because the guy thought he was home free. So if, he's like, whatever, let him go, kill him. I don't care. I got a bounty to claim. What's the? Perfect. All right, cool. If they made it out of the basement. All right, so you guys basically you follow the road. It doesn't go all the way to the farm. It kind of stops a little before, but you're able to find a little plateau, just a small plateau on the side of a hill that gives you a little bit of an elevation look over the farmhouse. You see that there's just size wise, I can give you. It's not. It's a very small, quaint little house. It's like 20 by maybe 40 feet. Not a large building. Um, there is a there where from your vantage point you can see the front door of the farmhouse. There is a torch on the wall, outside the door, a sconce that's lighting the area. There's one cultist outside the door, and as you guys are sort of casing the joint, you saw there is some torchlight coming from the side of the house that you can't see that appears to be moving. So as you watched that for a minute or two, there is a second cultist that is sort of patrolling the west side of the house on the opposite side of where you guys are at. And I'll move you to the map. I just wanted to give you the explanation, the description first. You can hear my cool crickets if you're listening to sound, if you're listening to the thing and it works. Oh, it's not? I'll have to troubleshoot that. It is working in the stream, fortunately, so I'll at least be able to check the levels on that. Uh, Gotcha. That'll just be another day of some troubleshooting and testing, I guess. I'm not too worried about it because, like I said, by the time we switch over to Foundry, that's got it all integrated, built in. They even have where you can find royalty-free music and sound effects, and just they have like their own, I guess, access to some of that stuff. So you can just kind of drag and drop. It's really cool. I can't wait to use that app. I just gotta get a little more comfortable with it. Is all. So let me get you guys moved over, and then I'll move the map. I have to get you from. Oops, I have to get you from the last map. Fortunately, you're a little spread out, so I gotta cluster everybody together so I can. You want to bring him with you to the farmhouse? The guy that Vadran took down with the arrow. Right. Oh, he's in no mood to. You can tell this guy's in no mood to upset any of you. Oh God. There we go. So that was cool. I got to see that was messed up. What the heck is going on with map tools? Or map tools, roll 20. Freudian slip. No, just I put light stuff in there and it screwed something up. So I'm just trying to see why it's doing that. Well, I can fix that. I bet just by killing that light source. But I really am getting frustrated with macros now. But okay. Oh, hey, okay. Oh, well, I was freaking out because there's tokens that I can see, and I'm like, oh my god, can they see them? But no, it's because I put the player view on. So, so the people at home right now, although if my players want to cheat, I'm live streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So you could actually, if you want to cheat, you could go look if you want. I don't care. All right, so okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just I've got so this is the scene. You know, you've got one guy here in front of the torch. There's one guy wandering around back here, and that's why you can see this light over here. It's torch light. Oh, that's the other thing I really like about it's a little thing, but I'm a visual guy. But the animated effects in Foundry, like the lighting effects for torches and sconces and the magical, it's so cool. It's a lot of fun. So the guy that's out here is just standing. This light you see moving kind of. It gets a little dimmer, then it gets a little brighter. So he you could tell he's basically walking around the back side of the house. I'm gonna occasionally update this map, so if you just watch the light source, you can see that it's already changed because he's moving. So if you guys, I'll just leave it here. And you can decide how you want to do this. Yeah, so the last time he saw him, he was just his hands were bound, is all. I like that. Sounds like chaos. I love it. Plan, just light everything on fire. This is cool. All right. Trying to trying to adjust the player map so you guys can. Okay, yeah. So you see him kind of come around the corner. He kind of holds his torch out like this, and he's kind of looking in this general area, and then he turns around and heads back the other in the other direction. So it doesn't seem like he's circling. He's kind of just checking the areas that the guy in front can't see, is what you're gathering. Which one? It's R1. It's R1 to assassinate. No. Nice. Well, got to make an awareness check for him. Now he is trying to keep an eye out for stuff, but his awareness is not very good. So, oh, so so you got a so you beat him by four, which is a major success. So you're basically able to get. You guys are watching. He gets literally right behind the guy, like he's standing right behind him. He doesn't even notice him. So 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 what I like to do in this game is I hate rolling for assassinations because if he's just standing there, it should be but how quietly you're able to carry that off. That's the thing. I like if that's I just like to make sure we do it nice and quietly. So go ahead and make a oh I was just saying difficulty mediocre. You beat it by two. So he doesn't even make a peep. A little bit of gurgling, and that's it. Down here. What's that? Doesn't Vadron have light on him? Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's all darkness. That's why. Because the torch light from here, it's just oh really? I'm gonna play around. Oh, you're right. What the hell's going on there? Let me double check your light source. I might have it set wrong. Oh, you don't have light. I copied and pasted a token, probably from the other map. So you had a torch, right? Well, but did you guys have the torch on at the? Yeah, I was gonna say at the top of the. Yeah, so I'll keep that off for now. I was just gonna say that might alert the other guy on the other side of the house. But that explains it. I think I grabbed a different token for you that didn't have the light source on. So sorry about that. Correct. Before the other guard comes around the other way. Okay. Yeah, he's basically just pacing back and forth the back side of the areas that the other guy couldn't see. Yeah. Yep, that's you're right behind the you almost nailed it perfectly. You're right behind the building. There we go. That's all right. Okay, so another issue you don't have in Foundry, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to be too mean. I've been a pretty faithful customer for Roll20 for going on almost 10 years, I think. So, uh, most sneaking. Okay, so and that's the other thing I really like about. I'm gonna keep bragging about Foundry, but you can give tokens dim vision for outdoor stuff, so they can still kind of see. So if they move their token around, they can. If they get close enough to stuff, they can make. It's really cool. So you can give them dim vision, and then they can still kind of wander around at night in the forest and see trees and roads and other things. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so Okay. Is anybody else gonna do anything? Or does anybody else want to be anywhere? Oh, where would you like to be? I can move you wherever you need to go. Well, you're pretty much at the edge of the map. Let me try. I'm gonna try something just for fun. I've never tried this with a token before. So let's see what happens to roll 20. Watch me crash it trying to do this. He has vision, dim vision for 5 feet is what I put. I like that. So you can kind of do the same thing as. Let me get Vadron in the same kind of boat here. It's not really supposed to be. Oh, well, maybe it'd be better to do it this way. Give me just one sec. I just want to, because I think it might actually be better to do the night vision, but just set it to a really small radius. Vision 5 feet, because then it doesn't affect. Yeah, then there's no light, but you could still see. So, Kragnar, you can see, right? But no one else sees your light. No, no, that's the way to do it. So I just give you guys low light vision or night vision, what it's called on here, but just give it like a small radius. So at least you can move around in dark areas. There we go. Oh. Night vision. Oh, um, there we go. Does that work for you guys as far as so at least you can kind of get around in dark areas to find exactly where you want to be? Perfect. That's great. That's awesome. Do I have a T? This that's not coming up. Oh, there it's gone. No, no. So what I can do it on every. I should do it on everybody's. And that way the tokens are always set up that way. You're right, Kevin. That's a good idea. It'll just take me a minute here. Sharon, night vision. Oh, the TV. Yeah, there's a TV on somewhere. Is that Ken's TV? Right? I think I already had the hawk. Oh no, I didn't. So night vision, has vision, night vision. Let's call her 30. There we go. All right, so I got everything all set. Yep. Now everyone can see everything, and we can see top of Ken's head. So there we go. It's a nice shot of your melon, Ken. All right, so I got everything all set up, and so you've got. So what was the? Where are we going from here? So I think I got everybody with some night vision. See a little bit. Okay, so Vadron, are you trying to catch the guy before he gets around to see the other guy's dead? Was that the general idea? Okay, so go ahead and make another stealth check. I'm just gonna have you because you have to kind of hurry to get around the corner to him. It'd just be at a -1. Okay, and I'll make his awareness check. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I'm going to position you right at the corner of the house where you see him. There's going to be you'll have a moment because you know he's there. He's just discovering you're there, so you're going to get a surprise, obviously. But let me put you where you are when he notices something. So just as you're getting around the corner, it's the old snap of a twig kind of a thing, a noise, and he stops and starts to spin around. So you've literally got like a moment that you've noticed he heard something and he's starting to react. And if you're close enough, there's no like penalty, anything like that. You're just gonna charge into him. Are you looking to just tackle him down to the ground, kind of a thing, or trying to? Are you trying to? Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect. All right, let's make an attack. No penalties for you. I'm gonna give him a -1 because he's not prepared for this, and she's already at -1, so that's a -2. Clang clang. We're going to. So you guys would have heard a little bit of a scuffle. He hasn't yelled out or done anything as you kind of caught him off guard, but the people outside probably heard it a little bit, but it probably wasn't loud enough to alert anyone inside. No, there's there as you came around this side, Vadron. There's a door right here, door here, and a door here. Okay, so he woke up, or he didn't wake up, but he was able to defend the attack. He hasn't done anything yet, but this is your. He looks like he wants to run to go warn the others. He doesn't look like he wants to fight. He's not really doesn't. He's not dressed like a guard, so he's going to attempt to take off to warn them. What would you like to do? We're basically in exchange mode at this point. All right, perfect. So you're basically attacking. He's trying to get away, and let's make opposed rolls and yeah. Let's see how he does. So this time he's only at a -1 because he's not surprised. Oh, but his agility sucks, so he'll still be at a -2. Beat him by 3. It's a serious. You're able to basically stop him and do a serious. Oh, oh, gotcha. Oh, so that's a critical then. Let's see if he fails his gut check. If he does, then you dropped him. He needs to beat good. Did not. So he you dropped him. He's not dead, but he's you dropped him. He is dying. He will die without any help from anyone else eventually. All right. And you've got a good vantage point where you're oh, Jaron, you're right by the door. Gotcha. Sorry, I thought you were still up on the hill there. Oh, that guy's in the. Oh, hang on, I gotta fix something real quick. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry. You're right. I forgot about. I just copied. I was doing the copy paste, so just remove him. Okay, I need for Vadron to make an awareness check, please. There's one here, right by Vadron, and then the front door where you guys originally saw. So Vadran, as so you had a lot going on. You were sneaking up on the cultist, and you got there, but then he spun around at the last moment. You charged him, a little tussle. You dropped him, got to the door. All that was going on. You finally got a sort of a moment to compose yourself as you're throwing the torch up onto the roof. As you're doing that, you hear the weirdest sound behind you, almost like a whispering type of a noise. And as you spin around, you see. I don't care if everybody sees it. How come it didn't do the show to players thing? That's weird. Let me try this again. I don't want to fight. Oh, is it? Show to players. There we go. Oh, there we go. You guys see that? I said show to players. I see it on my map. I see it on the player map. That's weird. I want. That's weird because it's on my player map. I just had to close it out. Everybody, it just popped up on the stream. Let me try. Let me try it again. Maybe it just didn't grab everybody. Right click, show to players. Show to players. It popped right up. That's weird. I can see it. You guys don't see it. Right? It's the shadow. I just gave you guys all access to it. So if you go to your little journal thing, there we go. I don't know why the little pop up didn't work. But that's what it. The little tab up the journal tab at the top. You know, that'd be a cool. I just thought of I just remembered a thing that I thought would be a cool tooltip if they could figure out how to do it. Would be to allow you to do as a GM to activate a cursor on that right side panel. So when you have new players and they're trying to find like settings and shit, you can actually point out where it is over there because it's a little weird trying to navigate those tabs over there. Okay, so where were we at? I got a little sidetracked. I don't know how to do that with this thing without giving away the insides. It is going to take a minute or two. I mean, it's going to take a little bit for that to really kick into gear and so we'll let the house burn for a little bit as that's going on. So, Vadran, you were able to spin around and see it as it's closing in on you. Now, it has a sort of incorporeal sort of shape. You can see through it. It's kind of got a misty looking form to it, but you could definitely see the trees behind it through it. So, you're looking at something that's probably from the mist. Magic stuff. Here's your time to shine. So you would definitely know this creature is not from the mist. It's actually from the void. It has like incorporeal qualities to it. So you definitely know that it's sort of it's what would be known as sort of a between realm entity. So it's able to sort of exist between both realms at the same time. Uh, so it can kind of like become solid and not solid as it sort of vacillates between. You won't need a magical weapon to hit it, but you do need to like time things right. From for what was that? I think that thing's more solid. This is more kind of in between. It can kind of become solid if it wants to like pick up a mug in this world, but it can also turn ethereal so that if someone's swinging a sword at it, it'll pass through it. But it's like the way Ken was describing it. It's sort of it's an ability it has, but it has to do it sort of in the moment. So um, it's not a guarantee that it can do it fast enough to avoid getting hurt. Gonna try to light the thing on fire? Yeah, so you don't have to have a magical weapon to attack it. It's like I said, it's a timing thing. So and so what I'm gonna do with the creature is any for each attack or anything that you're trying to do to physically interact with it, I'm gonna make a general fudge roll. Anything mediocre, if it has to, if it gets a fair or better, it's able to be ethereal. If it gets a mediocre or worse, it's solid. You're able to connect with, you're able to make contact with it or manipulate it in this realm. Does that make sense? Well, I'm trying to be nice. You guys got a lot going on right now. So, all right. So let's break this into exchange mode. And this is going to be a really weird. I wouldn't call it a finale because but you have finally tracked down the bad guy and his captive. So this will be interesting to see how it plays out as they're running from the building screaming and you're fighting with a shadow. All right, so we're to the first exchange. I'm gonna go ahead and just move this cultist out of here. Oh, I can't because he's got the light source kind of out of the way here. Oh, that's oh you got oh do you have your torch on you? Bright light. Yes, there. I gotta turn it on again. What happened? Oh, he stretched it. Here, I can fix that. Hang on, don't move him for a second. There you go. Yeah, so if you accidentally grab one of the corners when you're highlighting and then you move really quick, like to move them, I think you can actually invert your token too, like turn it upside down by going the other way around with it. Rarik is raging. He's as big as a house. All right, so we're to the first exchange, and Nate Daedrin's going aggressive to attack the creature. Is anyone else attacking at this exchange? Right? And Nate, I had that backwards. Fair, and he has to get a good or better to be ethereal. Not I had it backwards. You have the advantage. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so your attack was there. He needs a good or better. Oh, You're able to keep him at bay with the fire. The sword doesn't. He's able to sort of mist himself just as the sword is kind of passing through, but it definitely backs it up. So the creature, are you? You're basically kind of keeping him engaged, right? It's personal. I'm gonna say let's give it like maybe like three more exchanges before the people inside the house realize they need to get the hell out of the house. uh, so Jaron, yeah, I was just gonna ask. So was Jaron doing anything for this exchange? How did everybody get so darn big all of a sudden? Is Jaron there? Scavi. He butchered names for a living on purpose. Talk like a pirate. Arr, put an R in everything. Kernugget. I like it. Knigget. Knigget. It's not Knigget. Knigget. Can I get some help? Can I get right? Okay, where were we? I'm sorry. I got a little sidetracked. I was gonna have this really cool thing and then I forgot about looking for a shrubbery. Oh, yeah, yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Let me open my let me grab my table quick. Let's just figure this out what it's going to be for difficulty. So it's just a quick blast. How much, like force wise, you've got from the range is from touch to an avalanche. Touch, shove, full body check, club, runaway wagon, catapult. So you get an idea of the amount of force you want to do. A fair effect would take you two exchanges, and that would give it a full body check. So you'd start preparing at this exchange, you cast it on the next exchange, and that would be the equivalent of like a normal attack with a weapon. Okay, and I was hoping I was going to get a chance to like bounce this off of somebody. I don't know if Nate, if you saw the chat from earlier. Um, I want to do something differently with the. Why is that so loud when I've got that so quiet? Yeah, so what I thought would be cool is since magic energy it fluxes, right? It can be more or less in a given area. Even from day to day, it's supposed to be kind of an unstable thing. So rather than a gather check every exchange, make your poor, make your mediocre, make your fair. I thought that was kind of too redundant. What if the spellcaster makes a will check to see how much that they can how much energy they can gather for a given effect, and that would give us like a baseline. Oh, there's a good amount of energy, or there's a great amount of energy. So anything up to that point you can cast normal, but if you want to overcast, then there's a little bit of a penalty. But that way it's only one check. It's like see how much energy you can gather, and then let it loose after you shape it. You think so? I mean, mathematically, and yeah. Oh yeah, places of power. Here's what I was gonna do. So all of the ritual aids, like place of power, perfect time, all those kinds of things, personal item, those things that you can use as ritual aids. If they're just happen to be present, like you said, you happen to be on consecrated ground or whatever, you'll get a bonus or whatever. So yeah, absolutely. But I just thought that'd be a lot quicker, like and more interesting because if you get a shit roll, you may only have a fair amount of energy. You might have to adjust your strategy as a caster to what you can actually pull off. You know what I mean? So let's for this. So for this exchange, make your will check to see how much available. Yikes! You just rolled terrible. Oh, you rolled poor. Uh, there's not a lot of energy in the area unless you want to spend a fortune point to reroll, or you could raise it by two, and that would raise it up to fair what you need because you just need a fair amount of energy for this effect. They don't renew. So the way you get new fortune points is you let me be a pain in the ass to your character. So like so basically your qualities your your qualities work. It's a double edged sword. So the best way the best way to describe okay, I will admit that I've had a cocktail. But I haven't had that many. so, so what I mean is, so you can use equality to your benefit, and by spending a fortune point to get a plus two or a reroll. There's some other things, or the GM can use your quality to his benefit or her benefit, which means I'm challenging your character. If you accept the challenge, then you gain a fortune point. So what would happen is I don't have all your character sheets right up on my screen here, but let me grab one. But basically, what I would do is I would cause some sort of thing related to one of your qualities. Yeah, PCs. I forgot to. I didn't even need them, but now I need one. So let me just open Jaren. No, that's all good. I'm just trying. Actually, I'm trying to get this to won't even zoom. Is it not? Oh, because I'm stupid. Control scroll. There we go. Okay, so like for example, you had studied magic, but not exactly great as a complication. So I could tap that and say, you probably should be studying more than you are. You haven't been practicing much lately, so but so you're only able to do whatever, or you have to. So that's how if you wanted me to challenge your character, I could say you attempted to do it, it didn't work, and that at a later time you'll have a fortune point to spend. Generally, they're not going to come up while you're doing stuff. It's more like I try to find moments out of exchanges that can challenge your character. And then if you accept it, then you gain a fortune point. It becomes a little bit of an inconvenience thing your character has to do, and then you get the fortune point. So you have to earn them. There's no reset. Right. So okay, so that's how that works. So you basically spent one to get it up to fair, so you're good. So on the next exchange, you'll get to blast it. And on this exchange, Vadran was still attacking, and you guys are basically waiting for those guys to start pouring out of here, right? Gotcha. We got two more exchanges for that. All right, Vadran, go ahead and we'll do the attack on the creature. The creature's actually going to be trying to do something as well to you. I'm. I think I could put global illumination on at this point, and it wouldn't matter. Global illumination would just light the whole map, but it would still keep all of the what do you call it? Oh yeah, daylight mode. There we go. Daylight mode. That's what I was trying to remember. It probably took a sec to update. And like I said, my player view's all jacked up because I gave myself player permissions on the bad guys, so if I wanted to move them on the player map as a way to do it quicker, so that's why I panicked. I'm like, oh my god, they can see inside, but you can't. So there we go. All right, so where are we at? I got a little sidetracked. I apologize. And Vadron's making his attack, and this creature was going to do an attack. Here's the thing: whenever the creature here, this is what I wanted to mention. If the creature's actually taking an action, it has to be solid to do that action. So you won't have to make that check or whatever. You know it's going to be corporeal if it's trying to do something to you. When it, whenever you're ready for an animal companion, whatever you decide on, just let me know and I'll create a token and a little character for you. So you've got one. So it'd be kind of cool if everybody had an animal companion in the game. That's kind of a neat. I don't think I've run too many games, except for when we had the dire wolf. Yeah, yeah, exactly. One with nature. All right. So I'm still getting. I'm just trying to regain my concentration here to see where we were at. So Kragnar, Rarak waiting at the doors. Vadron is attacking. Oh, lost by 3. So the creature, what it does is it looks like it's pointing at you when it goes to do its move. But what it actually does is it seems like its arm sort of elongates this black, sort of dark shade. It's and yeah, it sort of goes through you. It doesn't go into you. It sort of passes through you, but you feel it as an intensely cold, dark pain. Um, so yes, it basically it saps you of some of your energy and gives you some like internal pain, just kind of making it harder for you to move normally and focus and concentrate. So just it's one serious wound on that. And so we're to the next exchange while you guys are waiting. And then we got one more. On this exchange now, Jaron, you're going to be able to unleash your spell. So go ahead and make your spell check versus fair. And then Vadron, are you going to keep attacking? All right. All right, Jaron, good job. It succeeds. Let's see, the normal success. So you deliver a serious wound to the creature, and I'll make a. I have to make a. I have to make a gut check for him or a will check for him. Quick. I don't like you. It needs a fair or better. Okay, not stunned, but it is hurt, and so you blasted with that energy, and it almost seemed to. So beyond its like actual shape and form, there's this black misty stuff below it. It actually seemed to deplete that a little bit, so sort of lessen it, as if it's doesn't have quite as strong of a connection with this realm as it did. So that was the end of that exchange. This is the exchange where things might start happening. So the creature's still it's still kind of circling and doing its thing and trying to attack Vader, not having a lot of luck. Had one little injury, but it seems like it's really focused in on Vadran for some reason. We're to a new exchange, and Vadran, since you're most occupied, what would you like to do this exchange? Yes, this is the new one. Oh, sorry, type too fast. Do do third exchange. Oh, look at that. Let's see. No, I don't hear nothing. Ooh, a serious wound. You deliver a serious wound to the creature as it tries to lash out again. Whoops. Oh, that's right. I'll step that up to a critical. A critical wound. And I need to make a will check for it. No, it's getting the frick out of Dodge. So as you cut into this thing, you notice it sort of starts to become incorporeal, and it just starts to sort of get misty, and then it disappears. As that is happening, Kragnar, make a brawn check for me. This is probably gonna be funny, but I thought just to see how what happens here. Oh, okay. So as you're watching the door at the front door, the door flies open. A man comes running out, smashes right into you, and falls flat on his ass on the floor. And I'm gonna open the door so you can see inside. It is not. You see, all right. So you see the guy. Apparently, the guy that probably who you're looking for, the big merchant, because he's been well described to you. And there's a guy basically holding him, uh, doing the whole like. Oh, I have him backwards. Sorry. Basically holding a knife to his throat, standing back. So go ahead and make your attack on the cultist as you push him into the door. And he's prone, so that's going to be at a -1. I wonder if they were just like in game design. I know a lot of times it's like anytime you can come up with a one word name for something to make it easier to remember. Maybe that was just the simplest way of saying. All right, Edge Lord. All right, right. Serious wound to the cultist, and let's check his guts. He's just gonna whimper. He's not dead, but he's like, he slinks into a corner. The Greylac basically grabs Jalix and pulls him back, and like I say, he's got himself backed into the corner. He's got a knife in his throat. Um, so we've basically got a standoff at this point. And the house is on fire. So and you guys would basically hear the door, collide, crash, boom. All this noise is going on, and obviously something has happened at the front of the house, and the shadow has disappeared. All right. Let me manually get that door out of the way for you. See that in Foundry, it creates a little icon wherever you put a door, and the player can click on it, and then it opens the door and reveals the other side. And they have locked doors too. So if you go to open it, it'll rattle like a locked door, telling you can't open it, which is kind of funny. Yep. There we go. Can you guys see in there? Why not? How's that even possible? I moved the door completely out of the way, and I can see. Oh, you're right though. It didn't reveal on the. Let me try some. Let me try something quick. Whoops! Darn it! That's not what I meant to do. That's weird though that it's doing that. I think the tokens are they're so big compared to the markers on there. Yeah, that's a corpse. And a quick at a quick glance, freshly killed, and there's a door right here. I gotta resize these a little bit because the map I can't if I zoom in too much I can't see. There we go. Oh, this is going to be interesting. You're kicking in the door with the hostage and the hostage taker literally right on the other side of the door. Uh, I'll move this door out of the way. Please tell me it works. Did it work? All right, so basically at this point, you guys come in. You've got Greylack is in the corner, backed himself into the corner. He's got Jalix in front of him. He's got a knife to his throat, and he's like, "You can have the fat bastard. Just let me out of here before we all burn." Because he will slit this guy's throat and sacrifice himself if it needs to. This guy's like, bye. He's beyond his pay scale. Well, after he gets done laughing, he says, he says, I will slow walk out of here. Once I am out of the building, I will release him. I just right. So, wait, I did you just roll? Did you just roll legendary? Can I swear? You fucking suck. That was awesome. All right, because you rolled. I was gonna try to calculate the actual difficulty, because he is holding a fat guy in front of him, and he's like into a corner where you can see this much of his head. But since you rolled a natural, legendary, I'm going to give you a kill shot on this. 2 Greylack. 1 shot, 1 kill. Embrace it because I'm never letting that happen again. Nice job, Ken. Thanks for the tip, you bastard. No. You can pull him off. Kevin doesn't like bad guy heads. He likes to get rid of them whenever he can. He just has a thing for bad guy heads. Doesn't like them. All right, that was talk about the most well timed legendary role because I have this whole thing built out that Greylack is like the first in a line of as you work your way up through this cult if you wanted to. So the upside you killed one of the main guys like with 1 arrow, but that means probably not going to get a lot of information out of him as to working your way up the chain. Not that it matters. I just thought I had that arc ready. So if you guys wanted to like pursue these guys, what's that? Greylack was the bad guy that was the. Oh, Jaren. Jaren's your caster, right? He's the clericy guy. Bring the head too. Why not? All right. So you want to speak with don't forget though you did. Oh, that was only 2 stress, so don't even worry about it. Um, on that the last effect you cast was only a fair difficulty, so it was only 2 stress. This would be a good difficulty, so it's going to be 3 stress, and you'll have you'll have him for about 15 minutes. So you basically can have a conversation, try to get what you want. Here's the thing: it's basically like you can't really hurt him, so he doesn't really have to say stuff, but maybe he will. Uh, but you will be able to communicate with him. If right, yeah, it's not going to work on this guy. He's already dead. So if you want to attempt to communicate with the corpse of the sorcerer, it'll be a good. You'll make your will check to see like I said, make the energy check, see what's in the area, and then the difficulty be good if you want to do it. It'll cost you 3 stress. It's it. I well we were gonna do we want to do it that way like per here's the thing I was thinking about doing like that like you said per day or per scene kind of a thing, but what I'm worried about for the GM is having to that means time tracking. That means, oh, was that scene in a half hour or an hour or whereas if each time you go to perform an effect, you got to gather that energy. Sometimes you're going to get a lot, sometimes you're not. But what I thought might be a better way to do this for the GM would be to have the GM can add modifiers based on the area itself. So if it's a magically rich area, he could give it a +1. So whatever the sorcerer rolls, they get a +1 to that anyways, or a -1. You know what I mean? But I worry about something that the GM has to track. Like, okay, you cast in the mornings. I don't. I hate bookkeeping when I'm GMing. So I just it's a natural aversion to anything where I gotta whip out a piece of paper and keep notes and try to what I mean. Um, I think for now I just want to test it out with it. Each time you roll the effect, you're making a gather check to see what you can gather. Um, maybe we work in a modifier for each. Oh, that just gave me a great idea. So in the original Mongoose Conan game, there's a rule called success begets success, right? So if a sorcerer is successful in Conan with a spell, the next spell he gets a boost to cast that next spell. So they can become very powerful if they start chaining two or three effects together. They can get really dangerous really quickly. So I would say that would be kind of a cool thing to do here too. So if a caster successfully casts, during a scene or whatever that in that same area at the same time, each time they're successful, that gives them a +1 to their next attempt for the amount of energy, not, but as far as available energy, that might be an easier way to do it. Because then all the GM has to check. Oh, you were successful at that shadow, at attacking that shadow. So your next time to gather energy, it'll be at a +1, and then if that's successful, it'll be at a +2. The energy that doesn't have anything to do with the casting, but I think that's an easy way to not have to do any real bookkeeping for the GM other than just keeping track of what's going on in a particular scene and area. Does that seem? How does that sound? Yeah. Well, yeah, for a given scene, but here's the thing: we just finished a fight, so now we're out of a scene. We're to the post. We killed the bad guy. We saved the good guy. All we got to do now is cart him back. So it's like it's a different scene technically, like because we're out of exchanges. So that's why I was thinking like, but we're still in this area. I was thinking of like the energy being more pertained to a certain area. So as long as you're in that area, those pluses will just keep ramping up if you're doing a lot of casting on this, if around this farmhouse, whatever. But as soon as you guys go to town, that's a different location, and so that would just start everything all over as far as for gathering for multiple. Does that? It sounds more confusing than I think than it actually is, but for the amount of available energy. Yeah, it's almost like you're able to draw more and more energy because you're sort of connected to it. So as you're more successful with it, you're tapping into more and more of it to do. I'm sort of that's what I'm sort of trying to imagine it in the game world, how it looks as a sorcerer, as he's, oh yes, and then he's got all this power and now I got it, and as oh. Oh really? That's I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm assuming as an anime game, it gets bonkers real quick, as far as you're right, right. Ah, gotcha. Cool. So let's do it that way. So yeah, for the so that would put you at fair. You just need to bump it up to good. Um, so either with a fortune point, you can do that. It's going to have you down a little bit, but you could probably get a lot of useful information out of him. Well, you can, but you just took 3 stress for that spell, so now if you're going to cast again, it's going to be at a -1. So the more powerful an effect is, the more it drains you. So when you cast that fair magnitude attack on the shadow, that was only 2 stress points, which is like a minor wound, right? So that went away like right away. But this one would be a good effect, right? So there would be 3 stress points, or 3 stress, that's going to carry with you for at least a day. So if you want to just say, oh, that one didn't work and I'm going to cast again, you could certainly do that. It's just going to be at a -1 because you just cast a spell that did 3 stress. Does that make sense? Okay. So the first thing you notice you you took down the big bad. So the thing to remember about stress is basically mental damage, right? Is your ability to concentrate, focus, and like function. So when you take mental stress for casting, that doesn't affect you physically. The only thing it really affects is any sort of will checks, or brains checks, anything having to do with more internal. So it won't make you more physically vulnerable. It's just if you keep casting over and over again, you're gonna wear yourself out. Basically, that's the idea. What's that? Yeah, right, right. It's more about being able to do the complex mental things you need to do for casting becomes more challenging. But physically, you could fight and shoot arrows and all that just like normal. So your wounds and your stress in this game are completely separate. They're just completely different things. There you go. It's a bad one. So do you guys want to? So do you want to spend the fortune point to succeed? Okay, all right. Okay, so that's going to give you guys some time to actually communicate with the. If you want to like skip a actual 15-minute conversation of gathering intel, what I will do is I will just I'll get my main notes about the I can't remember their names. The Brilliant, how what's the name? Tebrians, the Tebrian cult, and I'll put that in a text file or something. I'll give you all the info you want, or that's available, and I'll put it in the Dropbox in the player resources. Would that work? Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of stuff to go. Is there because you basically you completed this mission, so the information that he's going to give you would be more for future stuff. So is it okay if we kind of put a pin in that stuff and finish out the remainder of this, and then that'll give me some time to put those notes into something that maybe would be a little easier for reference. Yeah, yeah. So in the roll 20 text. Yeah, in the roll 20 text, just as your character, because then it helps me keep track. Just put down what you want to gain from this conversation, what things you want to find out. Jaron, you could do that too, or anybody else that's got any questions or for the sorcerer, and then I can refer to that when I'm creating the notes on the info, and then that way we could still kind of keep the momentum on this going and get your animal companions back, return uh, Jalex, and do all of that good stuff. Ah, good. Yeah. So just any question, anything you guys want to learn or discover, and then what I'll do is I'll create a summary based off the notes I have for the Tibrian cult, and then I'll put it in the player resources in notes. I've got a notes folder, so I'll put it in there for you guys. In Dropbox. I sent everybody a link for. You should have access to two folders. You should have your own player folder that's just has your name on it, your first name, and then you should also have access to a folder that says player resources. Oh, I mean, maybe everybody didn't get that. I'll resend it to me. Yeah, I'll just resend the added it. Gotcha. I'm logging into pick the spiral galaxy. Hang on just one sec. Oh, man, it's taking a while. There we go. Okay, I'm in my folder. Wrong folder. No, I'm in the right one. Okay, so where is the home? Uh-oh. Don't get sick. File requests. Maybe that's where it's at. I don't like the way Dropbox does the sharing now because you have to do it from the website. Here we go. Okay, so I should have one for Blood, Sweat, and Steel. Should have a folder, but I don't see it. Oh, it's just a recent thing. Where's yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't screw it up or whatever. I'm sorry. I just yeah, because it does say there's 6 members, but everybody probably maybe didn't get there or didn't see the link or whatever. Yeah, I'll send that back out. I'll send the link back out. I think the only way I can share it though is by email address, but I've already got you guys in there for the other folder, so it'll auto put your name when I start typing it in. So I'll send that separately. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure I don't get too discombobulated. I like to stay organized. So all right, so I'll work on that. We've got some questions. Awesome. Um, oh yes, so that's what I was going to get to. So Jaron, the first thing you notice is a very strange looking amulet. As soon as you saw it, without even making a check, you noticed that there. You definitely got the sense that there was some magical energy inside of this amulet. Might be tied to their religion, might just be, but definitely a magical in nature. He also had a small sack that had a mediocre amount of uh, coins. Yeah, he went down without much of a fight, didn't he? And he also has a couple of scrolls, and what appears to be he has like a map case thing that kind of rolls up, and inside there's like 4 or 5 scrolls in it. As you take them out, 3 of them appear to be some kind of weird language, doesn't make any sense. Um, so they'll have to be translated. And then the fourth one that in the scroll case appears to be a map, kind of a hastily drawn map, um, but it's a map. Let me get to my scars maps. Oh man, I just cleared my cache. It sucks because I was having issues the other day, so now I got to relog into all my stuff new. This one, oh, this is local disk, so this won't be. No, I was hoping that my new monitor was going to come by Christmas, but it's going to be around the 29th, so I'm excited. Yeah. What am I looking for? Oh, Google Drive, Blood, Sweat, and Steel, setting, Ecia map. Oh, logistics, man. There we go. It's the it's the secret sauce of capitalism. Okay, I'm zooming in on my map now, real quick. It's going a little bit slow because I just loaded it. Okay, so I'm trying because I can't remember the name of where it leads to. So I thought I'd be quicker on my map. Ah, here's Dory. Okay, so you guys were here. Finding Dory. Oh yeah, good to take the panic out of him. Yeah, he's had a rough time of it so far. The map leads northeast and appears to show some kind of spot, whether it be an encampment, or whatever. It looks like due south of the village of Bodur, and I'll put that on the. I'll update the maps and stuff. It's that's how it's spelled. The cultist tells you. I just saw I hadn't changed my thing yet. Oh yeah. So and Bodur's about well, I don't know. It's there's not a straight road to Bodur. You by if by traveling you would basically double back to Dory and then take the road north out of Dory. So there's no actual road. So it's a makeshift map showing you cross a river, and then you follow a different river, and then you end up at a spot that appears to be maybe a half day's travel south of Bodur. Just looking at the map, who knows? It's probably not drawn to scale, but that's probably a really important location to Greylac and the Tebrians. And as far as for this particular arc, there's not much left but the celebrating. So obviously, you guys are going to gather up your animal companions. And I was making some rolls. I basically like the hawk is circling when you get there. Like I am not leaving my post, but there's no way to really get them out. So he just kind of stayed in the area. When you gather them up, everything's fine. They've been through this drill before. They know when to hang tight. Um, so you reclaim your animal companions. You travel back to Kudig. Um, no, Kudig. not not having coffee. Oops, I gotta change that real quick. There we go. Save. That would be his original. That's the village. That's where he's the jarl, is in Kudik. Um, obviously, I didn't open my notes. Hang on. I didn't know if we were going to get all the way to the end of this arc, and we did. So, well, yeah, well, when your VTT's working and your OBS is streaming beautifully, no drop. No, I haven't had one dropped frame, and it's still only running at 11% while I'm streaming OBS. Kevin, I was doing some benchmarking, and Streamlabs OBS running the exact same template and scene collections as I'm running right now was hitting about 32% system resources compared to the original OBS app. So that's what I'm using now. So yeah, so basically to wrap up, let me get my notes because there was some additional information I wanted to make sure I had. Where did it go? Rise of the Tebrians. There it is. Wasn't much of a rise, at least not in this area, because you guys snuffed it pretty quick. I thought I had. Ah, give me a second. I thought I had the name. Didn't I give you guys the name of the Jarl's wife? I thought I had my notes. Okay. Aurella. Ahrella. So Aurella, through Aurella is obviously thrilled. Goes running, and when they are reunited, you can see there's a genuine. It's a real deal. They're a very very happy couple, very appreciative. Um, they had originally agreed to a good amount of silver for this. They are going to double that reward and give you 2 bags at a good value. One is for you guys, and one is for your organization. They would like to see your organization grow in popularity in this area. So they're consider the second bag a donation for the cause. And I think excellent. Release the hounds. So so what I'm also going to do with this campaign is Asgar has these neat little note things that you can add to towns and areas. Um, so I'm going to start tracking your organization's popularity in the area as it grows and expands. That way, as you visit, revisit certain areas you haven't been to, I'll have sort of a note for myself as to I was assuming you guys something you like a startup. There was something you guys sort of. Kragnar just wants to stab something. Well, not yeah, not for nothing, but I did ask a couple times to try to get more info on the cult. Like I was maybe we'd come up with a name. If you guys, I think we had a name. Was was the of the ancients. I don't. Yeah, Shrine to Forgotten Gods. That's it. Um, so anything you guys want to do to develop that part of it, if you want to say you've got a couple of rogue agents, I can create a couple of NPCs that maybe are operating in other areas. So that might be a cool way for us to come up with cool plot hooks outside the region for some like traveling, more questy type things. Yeah, some scouts or yeah, people that go out and try to find jobs for you guys to do. So you got your own sales team basically. He would probably be pretty amenable to that. well, well, he was just a grunt for an evil guy, so why not be a grunt for slightly less evil people? Right. So we'll make him one of the we'll make him one of the recruits. But anything you guys want that's important about the organization, like if you have a symbol, if you anything that you guys think would be cool to have, just give me some notes in Discord, and I'll just work on that. Because it's giving me some other ideas for like setting stuff. Was that wifey? Yes, yes. So yeah, and I didn't. I was gonna. I have a bunch of notes from in my setting folder. They're just there. I got it broken down by like cities and stuff, so I don't have anything super overhead. But I was gonna put together maybe something similar to what we did. We're gonna do for the information you're getting. I'll create sort of a what do they call that? A gazetteer? Is that am I saying that right? Now, one thing I was gonna I wanted to wait a couple sessions just to get a feel for the group and make sure we're actually gonna like maybe this is gonna go for a little bit. If it looks like it seems like a very agreeable group and it's a fun group, and if everyone's on board for like really playing this out for a little bit, I have a Scabbard account. It's an online repository for campaigns. It allows you to do like relationship trees, and you can keep special notes and all the important NPCs in different towns, and it allows us to basically just kind of keep all the relevant information in one location. I would be totally willing to set that up as it just instead of all this Dropbox weird folder and where's this and that, because it's actually designed for gaming groups. It's got a GM view, it's got a player view, and it's literally designed for like campaigns. It's got your notes section and travel section and maps and important NPCs, and so I've already got an account there because I looked into it. I could set something up for this if you guys would like to use that for future. Then all the information I could just put in there, and it'll be easier to keep track of. I didn't want to scare everybody away like, oh my god, we're doing all this stuff. I wanted to kind of give it a couple sessions to see how it's going to feel before I start the hard pitch for the long term. But yeah, set the hook. Yeah, and slow walking. Yeah, I like that. And go ahead. Oh, I totally forgot about one of the coolest things. We forgot to do the. I wonder how this would look. I can't make it big enough though. I'm trying to follow Vadron with it. There's like a fire glow. That's not big enough. I was looking. There's all those the animated effects that in for Roll20. They're okay, but they don't always work really good for the player side. I'll try the explosion one. People usually see that one. I'm doing it in. I'm doing it. Oh, because you're out in the house. Yeah, I was doing it out. I was doing it in the house. Now I'm doing it on Rarek. Oh, really? Is anyone else seeing it? Yeah, there's a persistent thing. It's too bad you can't just like put that on a token. But in the other in Foundry you can apply animated effects to tokens like yeah. You might want to. There's a salve for that, I think. In the well, yeah, fire. So you completed the last part of the arc. 3 experience points plus the MVP, which you guys want to choose that. And Ken was asking about allocation of points. I can just really briefly go. It's in the PDF in the character development, but just that's what I was trying to get to. Page 91. Page 91 in the PDF. So, for example, to raise a skill to good, it's 8 experience points. Just to create a new. That was awesome. And to roll legendary on the one time with what are essentially. Yeah. I'm good with that. That was because that was the. I had this whole other thing planned out. And since you fucked it up for me, you can have an experience point for making me work harder. Yeah. So yeah, 3 points each. 1 point for the MVP will give Ken the tactical award for the night. It is, but you know. No, that's in private. We don't talk about that on live streaming. In fact, that is our stream, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. We could chat for a few more minutes, but I forgot to